Hey, everybody, welcome back to Real Talk with QHT. I'm your host, George Herrera, and today I'm joined by Abigail Herrera, my wife and business partner.
As well, we're being joined by your hair.
Why? Is it crazy? Is
No,
it?
your hair's gotten so long.
Yeah, my hair's getting, it's gotten so long that it's a third guest in the show now. How are you doing, hair? I'm good. Yes,
Alrighty.
so it's me, my hair, and Abby.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Hello, world.
Well, welcome.
Yes, welcome everybody. So we're back
All right.
once again. It's the incredible.
All right. So, George, talking today. What's on the agenda?
All right, on our agenda today is instead of a question of the week, we're just jumping into a topic, a hot topic, and this is where I should cue in Anna from our office meetings. What does she
Okay.
usually say?
Hot topics.
Yeah, so we have a hot topic related to the notice of property values that just came out on January 15th. And so, for all those homeowners out there that want to challenge their property taxes or try to get your taxes reduced, this is when you do it. You only have from January 15th until March 15th. I'm sure they do that small window purposefully
Yes.
with all intents and purposes. So I'm sure they do that intentionally. So you got a 2 month window. Now's the time to get on it.
Wait, 2 month window?
Yeah, because January to February, February
Okay.
to March.
Okay.
Yeah, you got 60 days. So we're gonna talk about it here and go over some of the main talking points and the dates that you need to know and some of the step-by-step process.
I'm gonna pull up my cheat sheet.
Yes. So we actually just updated our blog post on our site related to it.
And where can
So
they find our blog?
that'll be on queenshometeam.com. And you can go to the search bar and just type in challenge your assessment and you'll find it.
Great. And
So
there's a lot of
that's
good
the main,
content.
yeah, that's the main topic today. And then we're going to talk about some new listings, just one really, some real estate deals that we came across recently, market insights, Abby's favorite.
Yes.
And then we're going to talk about some things that we're reading, watching, and listening to, mainly watching.
Oh, sorry, that's my alarm.
Abby has like 19 alarms just in case you guys don't know. So just imagine from 9 a.m. until
Eight.
midnight, there's alarms constantly ringing.
It's my way of remembering to do things because they're so annoying.
I'm sure there's something to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go.
All right.
Can
Well,
we, so you want to take us away with the topic?
yeah. So, interestingly enough, that I find last year was the first time we've received so many calls about this particular topic, and it's because taxes have gone up.
Yeah. Yeah, they
So
have actually.
taxes have gone up for many people. I'll call many folks
Uh huh.
all throughout Queens, let alone New York City.
Yeah.
So we've received a lot of calls and a lot of people had questions. So I'm really glad that you put that content out there because, it really any homeowner this really you should pay attention to this.
Yeah.
So really, I'm just gonna read a couple of things off of the blog topic. If you're a New York City homeowner, then you know that your annual notice of property value, aka NOPV, comes out every January 15th. In this NOPV, it indicates your property's market value, assessed value, effective value, exemptions, and taxable value. I speak slowly when I'm saying that because this all ties into whether you can fight to lower your taxes or not. Okay. So now in the NOPV, it gives you instructions on how to challenge your assessment if you disagree with it. Unfortunately, the instructions aren't so easy to follow. And like you said, maybe by design. So we decided to create a step-by-step guide on how to challenge your market value with Department of Finance and a step-by-step guide on how to challenge your assessed value with the New York City Tax Commission. So essentially two different departments. It requires legwork, right? So one of the main, I don't want to read through this entire blog because I'd really like for owners to read through this because you need to understand how your taxes are affected based on both. Okay. But I'll give you the bottom line, which is what everyone wants. They want to know the bottom line, right? So many property owners consider requesting review of their market value in hopes of reducing their property tax. However, your property tax will not go down unless you can prove that the market value should be lower than the effective market value. Again, if you look at your notice, these are outlined in different outlined in different lines. They're outlined in separate lines, so you can understand what the numbers that are associated with either the market value or the effective market value.
Yes, so let's stop there. That's where we can dig in a little here and give some clarity because this is
Okay.
where people probably get confused.
Okay.
You get your notice of property value, right? And we have ours here, so I'm referencing it. On the notice of property value, the first thing that it says is 2024, 2025 market value, and it gives you that number. That's the number that a lot of times we get calls from homeowners saying that's way higher than what I could get. You know, that's higher than the actual market value. So they're looking at the market value that's stated on the notice of property value, and they're thinking, "Oh, I can challenge this because this is higher than what the property's actually worth." The issue is that that's not the important one. So if you go to page 2 of your notice of property value, it gives you the market value, which it tells you first we estimate the market value. That's by pulling comps, and they come up with whatever they estimate as the market value, right? But that's not the number that is important in terms of reducing your taxes. If you go to the next line, it's the assessed value. Now, the assessed value, real quick, is that's determined by multiplying, like applying the legal caps. There's legal caps on how much your taxes can go up every year. So they apply all that to your assessed value. And then that's how they come up with your effective market value. So the third line on the notice of property value is the effective market value. In there, this is the key because that number you have to, in order to get your taxes reduced, you have to be able to prove that your property, the market value, what it's actually worth, is below the effective market value. So this is why most people don't actually have a case.
Yeah, it sounds very confusing, but because we've discussed it numerous times,
Yeah.
it makes sense to me
So,
now.
for example, your market value can say 1.3 million, but your effective market value is 750,000. So even if you think your house is worth 1.1 million, it's not worth 1.3, but it's still over 750. You can't even prove that it's worth less than 750. So you really don't have a case there. You wouldn't be able to get your taxes reduced.
Yeah.
So that's the important thing to know because we get a lot of calls and, people are seeing the market value and saying my house is not worth that, so my taxes should be reduced. But the effective market value, that's the one you got to look at. And the important thing to note here, I'll just read it verbatim from the notice of property value. So it tells you how they calculate it. Then it says, this number will be important should you choose to challenge our determination of your market value, as your property tax will not go down unless you can prove that your market value should be lower than the effective market value. So that's pretty much, in a nutshell, that's the main thing. But
So, if you haven't received your notice in the mail as of yet, we encourage you to go to the New York City Department of Finance so you can pull up your form, which is currently available, and get ahead of this.
yeah.
Okay.
They even have a website. It's nyc.gov/NOPV. And it takes you right there to all about the notice of property value, how to challenge, and you can access your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that's there. And then the main thing regarding the two departments. So you can challenge your market value with Department of Finance, but that wouldn't have any impact on your taxes. In order to actually reduce your taxes, you have to challenge your assessment with the NYC Tax Commission. So that's the one that can actually, the NYC Tax Commission, they're the ones that have the authority to reduce your property's assessed value, which would reduce your property taxes. And the NYC Tax Commission, to do that appeal, you can't do it online. It's only by mail or in person.
Can't
So
we just like go over there and just like, schmooze?
I know. Yeah, you should go over there and schmooze them. But that's
Alrighty.
probably by design too, right? Like
Yeah.
you have to go in person or by mail
Yeah.
to do that challenge with the tax commission. But like we said, we have the blog post on our site, or you can reach out to us if you have questions, and we can, send you some step-by-step instructions and give you a little guidance.
Beautiful. All right,
All right.
Georgie.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So now we have a tip of the week. Mark a combustible free zone 3 feet away from your water heater and boiler with masking tape. Use only tip-proof containers for
So so this is actually that was my my tip from the book I'm reading.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember this one. Go ahead,
Yeah.
explain.
So there's like a few here, but it's pretty much a section. I'm reading this book called 100 Things Every Homeowner Should Know.
Mm-hmm.
And it had this section about preventing fires. And one of them was putting a masking tape, like a zone around your hot water heater and boiler, like 3 feet from the components, so that you don't put anything combustible near there. I thought that was cool, like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna plan to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had a few other ones there, like to only use tip-proof containers for candles.
Mm-hmm.
So you put them in something like there's these containers where it won't tip over.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And then to keep combustibles at least 3 feet away when you're cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that. So if you're cooking, nothing that's combustible nearby.
Like a
It ha-
spray oil can, perhaps.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Anything like that. It gives a lot of good tips. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great.
those are
Thank
good
you.
ones.
So now we're going to move on to new listings for this week. We've just listed a one-bedroom co-op apartment in Elmhurst, in the heart of Elmhurst, at 8337 St. James Avenue. Second floor apartment, facing St. James, as a matter of fact, and asking $299. We're actually getting a lot of queries on this apartment, so we're very happy about that for our clients. And if you know anyone looking in the area of Elmhurst that wants to be by all shops, restaurants, retail, fun,
Send us a query.
a query. Query.
What is a query anyway?
Like an inquiry, basically.
That was invented by the same person that invented for all intents and purposes.
No, we have to look that up. What's the difference between an inquiry and a query?
Yeah.
Is it the same?
Inquiring minds want to
Oh
know.
my gosh, please stop with the cues already. So too many cues in one.
Our
discussion.
team members, like we can ask them and they'll explain it to us.
Yeah.
Query and inquiry.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I just realized that nobody asked about, I forgot what we had offered a plant
Oh yeah, no, we didn't get any.
last podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, Georgie.
So that one, it is good though. I'll put a link in the show notes. The one bedroom in co-op, the one bedroom co-op in Elmhurst, $299, and
Okay.
it's a pretty big unit.
All right. So
Yeah.
now maybe you could take this section over, real estate deals.
Yeah, so so real estate deals we're always monitoring. We work with investors. We work with some of our people that we know that are looking to do flips or just buy and hold and rent places out. So we're always kind of monitoring these things. So here's a few that I saw recently that I thought looked pretty good. So I saw a 3-family in East Meadow that the price is $610, but it's actually an auction, online auction, and you have to bid. I think it's open from February 6th to February 8th.
Wow.
But the pictures look pretty good. The house looks like it's in pretty good condition. 3-family, 610. Who knows how high it would go, but I mean, for anyone looking for an investment property, rents out in East Meadow, I'm sure are pretty good. So I would definitely look at that one, run the numbers, and maybe just throw out a bid on the auction.
I wonder what that's going to go for in the end.
I know. So that one is
Interesting.
sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Saw a 3-family in Glendale for $928.
Wow. Okay.
Anytime 3-family
Under a
under
mil?
$1 million in Western Queens, Northwest Queens, that's pretty good.
Nice.
3-bedroom condo in Jamaica, $485.
Wow. Okay.
So that's like if you want a house but no maintenance, 3-bed. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath condo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty good. 1-family in Maspeth with parking, $650.
Wow.
It's a 2-bedroom house, but
Okay.
still, that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I remember when we had 2-bedroom house
Yeah, right.
sales before.
So
Okay, excellent.
that's pretty good. And a 2-family in East Elmhurst for $899, and that's back on the market.
Okay.
So that
nice.
one just came back on. Opportunity for anybody that's interested. If anybody is interested in these real estate deals, we actually send an email out every week Shout out Ira, who
Shout out to
sends them out.
Ira. Nice. Ira.
And she sends them out to all of us so we can monitor the deals. So if you're interested in receiving these real estate deals every week, just contact us, queenshometeam.com, or send us an email, and we
Cool.
can sign you up or add you to the list.
All right, nice.
All right.
Now my favorite section, market insights. I'm going to make this quick because it's just so much fun. The 10-year treasury is at 4.14%, and the last episode it was at 4.02%, which means that connected with the mortgage rates, the average rate for a 30-year fix was 6.92%, and last time it was at 6.78%, our last episode. So that means that it went up slightly.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, since it's January, might as well make a market prediction. Actually, we should have listened to our January episode because we made market predictions.
Oh, we should.
So we're gonna do that within the next week. We're gonna go back and listen, and we're gonna see because
I think we bet something.
we bet something and we had different
Opinions.
So we'll go back to that. But it's January. So what is let's do a prediction. Will we stay in the sixes this year? Or do you think we go, where do we end the year next, this time next year? Will we be over 7 or below 6?
Great question. I think because the elections are looming, my prediction is that we stay in the sixes.
For the year.
For the year. Well, it could fluctuate. By the end of the year, I think it will land in the six somewhere.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to spend most of the year in the sixes.
Okay.
But this time next year, I don't know. I could see them maybe being below 6. Maybe because we're going to have rate cuts this year too, supposedly. So let's say we have the rate cuts, and if they do end up impacting mortgage rates, then maybe we get low 6, maybe high 5s by January next year.
Well,
I would say mid to
this
high
year.
5s. Yeah. So this
6.
year, I think we spend in the 6s.
Okay.
Low to high 6s all year.
Okay.
My prediction. You too.
Yeah. All right, cool.
But January, I say we're between 5.5 to 6, somewhere in the mid to high 5s.
All righty. Cool.
Where do you think we'll be January? 6s still?
I don't know. It's too far away to predict
Okay.
for me.
You're a terrible predictor. You're a terrible guest for a prediction show.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's too far. I can't make a prediction.
I don't have my crystal ball.
Oh, geez. Okay. So,
Alrighty.
last thing for market insights, real quick.
Okay.
So, obviously, it's January, and every January we put together our year-end wrap-up, Q4 market report, and we wrap up the whole year.
Okay.
So this is real quick, some numbers for January to December of 2023 compared to January to December of 2022.
Okay.
So this is looking at last year compared to the year prior.
Okay.
All right. And so for sold properties, residential homes were down in sales. Number of transactions were down about 24%.
Okay.
Condo sales were down 31.5%, so about 32%.
Okay.
And co-op sales were down about 19%.
Okay.
So all across the board, transactions were down. And we know this because the rates, obviously, going higher, but also the inventory, there was no inventory. So, and we even felt it as a team where transactions were lower than the year before, right? Except for some of our, rock stars that were killing it this year.
Yeah.
But so transactions were down compared to 2022. Pending sales for the last quarter, they were actually up. So there was an uptick. And
For the last quarter.
yeah, what would you equate that to? Because I think we peaked.
Lack of inventory.
We peaked in October. I think it was when we hit 8%. And then they went down from there. So maybe there was a
And I think
and
people,
lack of
maybe
inventory.
people got motivated because there was lack of inventory, so they were getting creative with their lenders.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like, with real estate, your plans to buy, sell, move, everything is situational.
Yeah.
How motivated are you and why? What's
Yeah.
driving your motivation?
That's right. And
Okay.
and inventory, was still low. So, and then for prices, so For all of Queens, median home price December 2023 compared to December of 2022 was down 4.4%.
Okay.
So that's just in general, prices all together, residential, co-op, condo, prices were down 4.4%.
Okay.
There's pockets where, that prices are still up, single family homes in some areas, two families, and then there's areas where prices are down, like co-ops in some neighborhoods or condos in some neighborhoods. So it's just a general figure, but down 4.4% for the whole year.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think that was one of our prediction things, like where we would end.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we both predicted gains, maybe modest gains, but we ended down 4.4%. So that's interesting.
Okay.
But inventory wise, to start the year, we're in January, and right now there are about 4,300 properties for sale in Queens. And for perspective, remember, I've been doing this market report since when you were Abigail Sells.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, when you first started,
Abigail still sells, by the way.
uh huh, yeah, she's still selling, y'all.
She just transformed into QHD.
So back then, it was like double the amount of homes for sale. There was like 9,000 properties for sale back
Yeah.
when you first started, like 8,500 to 9,000.
Yeah.
So, and that was in what, 2010?
2010. Yeah.
So that just goes to show you we have like half the inventory of when you first started.
Mm.
So that's what's keeping prices, from falling off a cliff, I guess, as they would say.
Like, who are they?
Yeah, those people, the people that invented intents and purposes and queries.
All right. Anything else with
Yes.
numbers? This is so exciting.
No, that's all for that one. That's going to be on our site. So check our site, before by the end within the next week it'll be on there, queenshometeam.com. You can see the whole market report.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes. All right.
All righty. Well, I know that you have a section here which is relations to migration patterns because we found this something to be of interest to
Oh,
some
yeah.
people. So we had a client. We have client that moved from South Ozone Park into Connecticut. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yes, yeah.
Alrighty.
So, you don't see that all the time, but
No, not
yeah.
often from
Family.
Queens to Connecticut, but
Mhm.
hey, good
There
to
you
know.
go.
Alrighty.
Connecticut.
Now, last but not least, what are we reading, watching, or listening to?
You want to go
George?
first?
Yeah,
Or-
sure. I'll go first. Well, considering you're my husband, I mean, I know we're watching Fargo.
Yes. We just started.
We just started watching Fargo. I just picked up on a podcast with John and Linda McKissick.
Jim.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
Pardon me for saying that. Jim and Linda McKissick, a husband and wife couple, real estate agents who have been through highs and lows, and they have an excellent podcast where they talk about life, business, and all kinds of things. I find their podcast really interesting because they have different guest speakers. So far, I mean, I've only listened to 3 so far, but I really like it. They ask a lot of great questions. And at our time and age in our life, I find it really educational
And very
informative.
practical, right? It's
Practical,
not like
yeah.
some of these other real estate investing podcasts. It's like this guy bought 1,000 houses or 400 units, and it's a more practical, one at a time, things that I think most people can relate to if they want to get into it.
Yeah, so I really like that. Fargo is excellent. I know it's been a long time, ongoing, many seasoned show, and it's based out of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It's Minnesota, right?
Yes.
It's based on a true story, and we're into the 3rd episode, and we're really enjoying it. So there you go. It's based on Minnesota. I don't, it's about. Can I say some of the things that we know so far?
It's kind of like murder mystery-ish
Yeah, okay.
kind of show, right?
Leave it at that.
Yeah.
Murder mystery.
Yeah, good acting though, and Billy Bob is killing it. in
Yeah.
there.
Excellent actors.
Yeah.
What else? I think. How about yourself?
Yeah, that podcast is good though.
Mhm.
Yes, so I will recommend The Beekeeper
Oh, yes.
with my boy John. Wait, John Statham, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. We
Wait,
saw
is
it
it
in the. John, is it John Statham?
Oh my goodness. Jason Statham.
Jason, what am
See,
I?
look
What
at
am I
see,
talking
we're
about?
like
John,
John,
that guy,
Jim,
he doesn't even
Jack.
look like a John. He is way too cool to be a John.
Sorry, y'all.
Sorry, no
That
offense
was
to
bad.
Johns out there. Jason.
Jason.
Starring Jason
Jason
Statham.
Statham.
No, my gosh.
It's
This is
so
like a freaking, like he's trying to compete with John Wick.
Wow.
Like
It's such a good
it's
movie.
it's
Action
right in the
packed.
John Wick wheelhouse. It's
Yeah.
just ultra violence and fighting.
If
It
you're a
was really
Jason
good.
Statham fan, you won't be let down. Put it like this.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, we love Jason Statham movies.
Yeah.
It was packed with action.
Yeah.
So we thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. We haven't been to the movies in a while, so that was fun.
Yeah, so that was cool. All right.
Okay. Alrighty.
There you
Well,
go.
thank you.
All right. Goodbye.
You want to wish our listeners anything?
Yes, so
Oh, yes. If you, of course, if you listen, if you like, what do they say in all those vlogs? And, like, listen, share,
yeah,
thumbs up,
subscribe, share it.
subscribe.
Yeah.
We love our subscribers.
Yes,
We
and
appreciate without you, we are no one.
yes. For owners, notice a property value. If you need any help with challenging your assessment or just some guidance, feel free to reach out to us on
Okay.
that one. If you want to see all the full market report on the Queens real estate market for the whole year, that's going to be on our website. And for the real estate deals, if you want to get get added to that list, just shoot us an email, info@queenshometeam.com, or you can contact us through queenshometeam.com and we can add you there.
All right. Beautiful. Thank
All
you for
right.
your time, George.
Thanks, everybody,
Thanks,
for
everyone.
tuning in. Stay tuned for the next episode. Take care and have a great day.
Later.